Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus one more time, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. I'm back again with just a nugget. A nugget is something that's short and not very long, easy to comprehend, and you know what it is, you like it or you don't. And if you like it, it can be golden. You know, when I talk to you about God, I'm talking to you about what I perceive as being the ultimate power of all existence. When I talk to you about the character, the nature of God, I'm speaking of God as being the parent of every human being on the face of the earth. A loving parent, not a bigot, not a hateful parent, but a loving parent that requires that of all of those that are familiar and accept God as being God. And any action less than that is an expression of those who have not accepted God as being their God. They have accepted themselves as being the smartest or some other spirit as being their God. And it is the result of all of the pains and sufferings that people have to endure. That is what I want you to understand, what I'm speaking to you about when I talk to you about God. Now I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, that God says, through his character, through what God is, that if you work, you should have everything you want. Why? Because work equals entitlement to everything. Now that's God's plan. Simply put, a family, everybody participating, everybody got gifts, some of them similar to add to that others have, so it can make it much easier. Others are different to bring about variety. And then it has multiple proponents as well. But it is, my friends, it says that you are here on this earth, and that there are certain things for you to substantiate your survival. And if you are here, whatever outside of you, that has already been provided. And whatever is missing is inside of you. And not all things, but the part that you play in the process. That's that family thing. And as you engage yourself, you create all of the things that are outside of you that needs to be materialized, that human beings desire, want, or need. You do it. And that makes you entitled to it all. All, my friends. So when you working for money, every step you make, every step you take, every effort you make in pursuit of money is a step closer and deeper into slavery, into bondage. I am telling you the absolute truth. Some of you got jobs. You work hard, and regardless of what money you make, most of you still come up short. You still are missing. You still desiring things that you cannot afford. You just can't. And then some of you desire those things so much till you take on a second job to try to ascertain those things. And some of you have such responsibilities within life that it causes you to feel that you got to take on a third job, or you have to do other things to try to get money so those things can be done. That's slavery, ladies and gentlemen. God has nothing to do with that. That is a lack of God. That is a lack of understanding of God. That is not God at all. And that's built on the basis of racism and bigotry and lies and cheating and stealing and killing and war. All of these things are a product of you, my friends, not knowing God. Now, you don't know God, and it's really not all your fault. Your parents didn't know God, so they couldn't teach you God. Their parents didn't know God, so they couldn't teach you God. Their parents didn't know God, and they couldn't teach you God. Those who held themselves up as being spokesmen for God, as I am doing now, did not know God, and they couldn't teach your parents God, who couldn't teach you God. But they knew something else. They bought into a lie because the lie is the only thing that was being taught. And so all of us are living lies. Or should I say, well, I'll include myself in that too. All of us are living a lie. And most of us think we're so righteous that we don't want to hear anything about truth. Most of us are following the dictates of a book, a printed book, that you have no knowledge of. You don't know who put it together. You heard somebody say such and such. You don't know when it was put together. You heard somebody say such and such. You heard that it was put together for a purpose, and you have bought into all of that without knowing the truth about any of it. Any of it. And you hold it up as being the ultimate truth. And you got these people who know nothing about God who trying to interpret scriptures. If you had just used a little bit of thinking, you would understand that it must be wrong. Otherwise, you wouldn't have so many churches. You wouldn't have so many different denominations. You would have so many people talking about this way and that way, as long as it gets you to the same place. And it's getting you to the same place, ladies and gentlemen. It's getting you to the place of destruction. It's not getting you to God. It's not, and those of you who believe in heaven, it's not getting you there. Yes, it all is getting you to the same place, to destruction. All of it, Republicans and Democrats, democracy and socialism and communism and dictatorships, all of this variety, Methodists and Baptists and Catholic, they are all getting you to the same place. Yeah, there are different ways, different this and different that, getting you to the same place. Bondage, slavery, poverty. When poverty exists, when there's wealth, so much wealth, I know that wealth makes you feel good. I know you want to get there so bad, but you're selling out God. And there's no church that's going to tell you the truth about God. There is nothing that's going to tell you the truth about God. The only truth you're going to ever get from God, ladies and gentlemen, the only truth you're going to ever get is going to come from God. Even what I'm telling you right now, even though I know it's from God, and that's why I'm telling you, you don't know it. It's from God. And you will never perceive it as being from God unless God tells you it is of God. And the only way God can tell you that truth is if when you are willing to receive that truth, when you're looking and searching for truth, when you want truth, then you can receive truth. In the meantime, everybody's living a lie, a stone-faced lie. And yes, I am still living a lie too, because if I wasn't, somebody would be killing me. They would take me out. But I tell you one thing, ladies and gentlemen, this is my job. And I have no money. I'm still living, so I got access to food, clothing, shelter, little education, and some health care, but not enough. All of us could go to the doctor right now, but most of us will not go. Why? Because it costs too much money. You say, well, you can't even afford the co-payments. Many of us can't, let alone the bill that's following. And you know it's not right. In your heart, you know it's not right. And yet, you buy into it because that's what slaves do. They buy into stuff just to survive. But I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, that God says if you got a job, and everybody should have a job. Everybody. If you're old enough, you should have a job to participate in the creative process. And there's not a force on the face of the earth that you should allow to take your jobs away. There's not a force on the face of the earth that you should bend to in that regard. And standing up for that, like that, you will not let a force on the earth deny you and yours. What is yours? Everybody else. Health care. Oh, my friends, if you could only accept the truth. you would be free. But until then, bondage is yours by your choice. Thank you so very much for giving me this, your time, for this one momentous nugget. Goodbye.